right, look. Next one. Proverbs 15 and 18, right? A wrathful man stirreth up strife. Wait, is this the one we wanted to? Proverbs 15 and 18. That don't sound like, or is it 18 and 15? Let me see if it's 18 and 15. Because I can't see why it would be, why I would put that for this. No, it's not 18. It's not 15 and 18. Stir up of strife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. And there's got to be a Proverbs verse, but it's not Proverbs 15 and 18. So I'm not sure. I probably got to look at what verse I really want for here, but it's probably not 15 and 18. Good thing I noticed that now, so I can remove that. Let's go to 21 and 27. Okay, so this one says, the sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? You understand? So, one, the reason why people are sacrificing, right, is because they're sinning. So they think that they have to kill another being in order for them to appease the God because they fucked up. That's simple concept, right? It's wicked as hell, but it's a simple concept. So who are these people who are engaging in this wickedness that aren't aware that they're engaging in wickedness, but are doing it thinking they're being righteous, but really they're being wicked in mind? All right? Who are these people? People sacrificing, right? Whether they doing blood sacrifice or sacrificing of animals, it doesn't matter. Spilling of blood in the name of God. Right? So, you go, the sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. So, the sacrifice, right? Anybody doing any sacrifice is wicked, especially blood sacrifice. It's an abomination, right? How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? Like, if you're doing shit like this, right? Right? You're doing shit like this, and then you got a face like this, motherfucker. How is that not exactly what this verse is talking about? Nigga, like, come on. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? Nigga with a smile on his face, with a dead lamb with blood all over the place, but this nigga grinning. Like, I can't, son, cause this shit don't make sense. And he dressed in all black too, like a straight demon. You know what I mean? Not even white garments. Yeah, that man dressed in all black, like a cult of Saturn. You understand? Just like a cult of Saturn participant would be. You know, all the judges dressed in all black. Freemasons dressed usually in all black with a little bit of white. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, now the feds is watching. Is one of my peoples. And then here go the other one, 21-27. So we just did that. That actually perfectly encompasses my man right here. Micah 6:6-8, right? So let's look at this one. Micah 6:6-8. Wherewith shall I come? This is Micah speaking, right? Wherewith shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with the calf of a year old? So look at what he's asking. This is what you call a rhetorical question. He's being sarcastic, right? He's kind of being like me. Right? When I ask you a question I already know the answer to, but I just want to see how stupid you actually are. He's doing the same thing, right? Wherewith shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with the calf a year old? Right? Why the hell would I come and bring him a burnt offering is what Micah's asking you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams or with tens of thousands of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for... you see how he compares the sacrificing of animals to the sacrificing of the firstborn child or human sacrifice? Are you seeing how Micah is able to use his common sense to come to the conclusion that the Most High is speaking out against blood sacrifice, whether of animals or of man? It doesn't matter. The Most High is not with the spilling of blood or the wasting of life. Life is in the blood, right? So if you're spilling blood, that means you're wasting the life. What was the whole purpose of that being created if you just slaughtered it? It didn't get to fulfill its life and its purpose. You cut its purpose short so that you can continue your destructive purpose. That's fucked up. That's a parasitic way of living. That's how white people live. You understand? And I have to bring it back to white people because I know y'all like to blame white people. So I know that I'm laying it into us, our people, but that's what needs to happen because we fucked up. You understand? And this is how we fucked up, right? Will the Lord be pleased with 1,000 rams or with 10,000 of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgressions, the fruit of my body for the sins of my soul? He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, right? So he asks rhetorical questions, right? And then he gave you an example of the rhetorical question he asked. He gave you two forms of the example. He said, listen, whether it's animal sacrifice or whether it's human sacrifice, the Most High is not fucking with it. He's not fucking with it. And then he goes on to finalize that statement by saying this: the Most High have showed you already, O man, what is good, what he desires. What does the Most High want? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly, to be obedient. Not for you to kill animals every time you did something wrong. How about you just stop fucking up? Wouldn't that make more sense? Just stop fucking up. You don't have to kill no animals. You don't have to grovel and beg. Just stop fucking up. I won't beat you if you stop fucking up. It's kind of like my parents. My parents are not religious. I didn't grow up in church. My parents hate church. My parents are actually confused as to how I found my way to this book. And even when I tell them, they don't believe me. When I was telling them about dreams God was giving me back in 2010, they looked at me like I was a fucking madman and then talk shit about me with family members. Do you understand? So, listen, I wasn't raised in church or none of this shit. I think that's the reason why I have such an affinity towards this material, because I wasn't raised towards it, but it called me, so I answered, right? Yes, Esau was black. Take your confrontational ass the fuck out of here, okay? Esau is a white man doctrine. Take that out of here. If you coming in here to be confrontational, leave my life right now. Matter of fact, all you do so far has been run your mouth. So let me just kick your ass out. Okay. All right, we got that motherfucker out here. Okay. So look at what he said. To do just. This is what is instructed. Do justly. All right. This is what has been instructed. To do justly. To do right. Right. Okay. To love mercy. Right. to have a feminine principle about you in the sense of some balance, and to walk humbly with thy God, right? To follow his 10 commandments. To walk with God is to follow his commandments. To love mercy is to have some balance, right? To do justly is to do the right thing. Just do the right thing like Spike Lee, man. That's all you got to do is do the right thing. I don't know why it's not doing what I'm telling it to do, but okay. That's all you got to do is do the right thing. Okay? This is Ezekiel 18. This last portion, is that not Ezekiel 18? What Ezekiel 18 tells you? Okay. People wonder why I keep bringing up Ezekiel 18, though. Let's keep going. Jeremiah 7, 21 through 23. We read that, but I'm going to do it just another time. Is it Jeremiah 7? Yep, Jeremiah 7. Okay, Jeremiah 7. We read this before. This also, for those of you who are in the New Testament, even though I tell you to get out the New Testament, this is what you can do. You can look up Acts chapter 7, verses 40 through 43. Right? And so this is what it says. Jeremiah 7, 21 through 23. Okay, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices and eat flesh. So this is a sarcastic statement, because one, you're not supposed to eat flesh, and two, we're not supposed to be doing blood sacrifices because he never instructed us. So he's being sarcastic here, right? And he goes, verse 22, for I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the days that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. He didn't teach us nothing about burnt offerings and sacrifices. He taught us nothing having to do with that, right? But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, right? This is all he said. Follow my instructions. Listen to my 10 commandments. I'll be your God, and ye shall be my people. Walk in all the ways I have commanded you. Follow them 10 commandments, that it may be well with you. Right? So he didn't say nothing. We read Deuteronomy chapter 4 in the first live. Right? He didn't give us no instructions other than the 10 commandments. Right? Let's go to the next one. Isaiah 61 and 8. And I think I messed up on that one. I think it's something different. But let's see. It might be 6 and 18 instead of 61 and 8. Let's see. Nope, it's correct. Okay, for I, the Lord, love judgment. He loves to judge. You understand? I hate robbery for burnt offering. What does that mean? I hate when you steal and then you turn around and do a burnt offering. How about you just not steal? Do you understand what the Most High is saying there? I hate robbery for burnt offering. That's a trade. When you put the word for, that means in exchange, right? So you rob and steal or kill, and then you turn around and give a burnt offering, and then you think it's okay. It's not okay, because you didn't change in your mind. So all you did was kill that innocent animal, pretended like you weren't going to do it again. Then the very next day, you went and did the same fucked up shit. Now you got to go kill another animal. What sense does it make? Okay? And I will direct their work in truth. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them. What was that everlasting covenant, if not the 10 commandments? Nigga. Like, it's so simple. Like, motherfuckers don't read. They don't study. Their reading comprehension is shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's because their minds are dead. They're dry bones. Okay, next verse. Isaiah 66, 2 through 3. All right? Let's go. For all these things hath mine hand made, right? The Most High said, I made all these things. The lambs, the goats, the rams. I made all of these. And all these things have been. They've been in creation since before your little ass was born. All these animals been here. Their kind has been here, right? But to this man will I look. But to this type of man will my attention turn to, right? Even him that is poor and of contrite spirit and trembleth at my word. So what's the type of man that the Most High likes to deal with? A man who's poor and contrite in spirit, meaning he's not arrogant in the sense that in his relationship with the Creator, he's willing to learn. He's willing to change, willing to adapt. He's malleable. He's childlike. Right? That's what it means to be childlike. You're not afraid to learn. You're not afraid to ask questions. You're not afraid to be wrong, more importantly. A lot of us are too afraid to be wrong. That's why a lot of us can't go in the dark to pull out the light. You can't pull out any light from any darkness because you're afraid. You're afraid of people judging you for the things that you may theorize about. Why do you think I don't give a fuck what nobody else thinks? If I feel something based on my study, I put it out there. If somebody's able to correct me, it's all good. But I'm going to make you correct me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to immediately just listen to what you have to say just because you said it. You're going to have to prove it to me. And in the same way, the Most High expects you to do all things. What does the scripture tell you? Prove all things, does it not? Does Proverbs tell you to prove all things, yes or no? Okay, so you should expect nothing any different here, right? Let's go. For all the things hath mine. So the Most High made all these things. So the type of, what does the Most High need you to kill an animal for if he made it? If he wanted to kill it, he could kill it himself. He doesn't need you to go kill the animal for it. He made the animal so he can get rid of it if he wants. Makes no sense, right? And this is exactly what he says in verse 3 and 4. He that killeth an ox is as he who slew a man. So it's comparing the killing of an animal to human sacrifice. Is man not an animal? Is man not an animal? Yes or no? Man isn't only an animal, but man is an animal. You reside inside a fleshly lower vessel body. You just happen to have a spirit or a soul, which elevates you above all the other animals in this realm. You have the mastery of past, present, and future. And to contemplate, meditate on these issues. Other animals do not have this gift of self-reflection. Some animals do, like dolphins and elephants and dogs to a certain degree, but to a certain degree. We are very special creatures in this creation, and we don't appreciate it, right? Because we're doing shit like this. He that killeth an ox is that he who slays a man. So replace the ox with a sheep, right? Replace the ox with a lamb. Replace the ox with a dove. It doesn't matter. You're killing an innocent life. He that sacrifices a lamb as he cuts off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation as if he offered up swine's blood. Right? He that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. So burning any of these things, right? This is something as if he's burning to an idol. So there's some of us who will put, like you'll see in some of the commandments in Leviticus, where they put not only the blood with the fruits and the vegetables and all that type of, but they're mixing up the rituals. So even the oblations, which originally were acceptable for Adam and for Seth and for Abel and for all these other patriarchs, right? When they mix it with the blood of animals and all this other shit, you done fucked everything. Once you start to put blood in the mix of anything, you fuck it up. If there's any God who's obsessed with blood, you're fucked up. You're worshiping the wrong God, right? Yay. They have chosen their own way. So anybody who's engaging in any type of blood sacrifice, you chose your own way. Their soul delighteth in their abomination. Do you understand what I'm saying? You just, like, look, your soul delighteth in abomination. Your soul delighteth in abomination. Your soul delighteth in abomination. Does that look like a face of delight to you? Satisfaction? That looks like he's pleased with what he's done, because he actually thinks he's appeasing the Most High. Right? So this nigga did this. And you think the Most High likes this shit? You think this something the Most High approves of? The Most High created these creatures to have the fullness of life, to have the fullness in experience of life, to live life. That's why the Most High created them, right? Same reason why he created us, to live life, to live. And look. And then you wonder why the scriptures say what it says. They chose in their own way, and their soul delighteth in their abominations. This dude is pleased in what he's done. So much so, he done posed with a murder weapon and all. Blood all over the place. Didn't even drag the body somewhere clean. You understand? Psalm 40, 6 through 7. Let's go to the next one. Psalm 40, 6 through 7, right? Psalm 46 through 7, sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire. He didn't desire these things. Mine ears hast thou opened. Right? So what did he desire? The Most High, David clearly says, listen, sacrifices and offerings. I didn't desire it. I didn't want it. But what I did want was your ears to be opened. Right? For you to listen. That's why you got two ears. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. Okay, burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written to me, right? What does it say? He comes. So this is David telling you he's coming from the volume of the book. And it's written. So this is David telling you he's reading from out of the book that we're not called to sacrifice or to do any offering. Agreeing with what Jeremiah 7:21 through 23 said. Okay, that's your man David. Okay, let's go to Psalm 50. Psalm 50. The mighty God, even the Lord, has spoken and called the earth for the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. So he's saying he's called all the face of the earth, from the part where the sun rises to the part where the sun falls. Both hemispheres he's talking about. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God has shined. Our God shall come and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above and to the earth that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. See? Hold up. I gotta plug this dude back in. He just came from the bathroom. Okay. Okay, I'll come in, senor. Hang on 1 second. I'll come in for you. All right. How much time is left on this? All right, so let me unplug this dude. This dude said he finished. So let me just unplug this cat real quick. Hang on. Yeah, this cat should stay, but he don't look like he gonna stay. All right, let me get rid of this dude and then I'll come back. my man. Just when you finish, just call me. Yeah, my man, right? All right. Okay, so it's gonna take me a little while, but I'm gonna just try and finish up this last bit real quick, right? Okay, so we're gonna finish reading chapter 40, right? So all of them, right? All of them that made this so-called covenant by sacrifice, and the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is a judge himself. Hear, O people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God, right? I will not reprove thee. What does it say? He's going to testify against us, right? What does it say in verse 8? I will not reprove. What does reprove mean? Reprove. To scold or correct, usually gently or kindly, right? Okay, I will not reprove thee. He's not going to correct you kindly. He's going to whoop that ass. You understand? I'm not going to correct you kindly because you're fucking up. I'm just going to whoop that ass. Okay? I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor goat out of thy fold, for every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon the thousands of hills. Listen, he's not accepting any of that shit. Why the hell do I need you to give me some shit that I created? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why do I need you to give me some shit I created? Why are you killing bulls, goats, and any other beast of the field when I didn't tell you to? I'ma bust your ass. For every beast of the forest is mine. That's what he was saying in one of these verses we were reading before. Did I not create these things? When he asks a rhetorical question, I made these things. So why would you think killing these creatures is going to satisfy me? And then he goes on to say exactly what I'm saying. I know all the fowls of the mountain. I know if this is a being who can count as many follicles, hair follicles that you have on your head, right? He knows every animal personally, right? He knows every bird in every tree, right? The wild beasts of the field belong to him. If he was hungry, he wouldn't tell us. For the world is his, and so is the completeness or the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? That is called a rhetorical question. He's being sarcastic. Offering unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? See, thou hatest instruction, and casteth my words behind thee. So instead of following, you just don't follow instructions. You hate my instructions. So you put them behind you, and then you come up with some stupid-ass ritual where you're killing some animal which doesn't need to be killed. Are you understanding? All right? Let's go again. Hold up. And this is him asking rhetorical questions, right? It's Psalm 50. It's rhetorical, right? So, for you seeing that thou hatest instructions, you hate to follow directions. I gave you 10 commandments, and you gonna do some next shit. I gave you 10 simple things to follow, and you gonna adopt all other laws by the other gods. You're gonna literally add to the 10 commandments. Okay? Where it says, but unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my He's saying what, in other words, what verse 16 is saying is, what should I do to be a part of your covenant? Right? What do I need to do? And this is what the wicked say to God, right? Are you seeing? So unto the wicked, not the wicked God, but unto the wicked, meaning the people who are wicked. This is what God says. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? He's asking them, what should you do in order to say that you are a follower of my directions? What does it say? Very simple. Follow my 10 commandments. It's simple. Just follow my commandments and we good. We Gucci. Don't follow my commandments, I'm going to bust your ass. How's that any different than your parents? When your parents tell you they're going to bust your ass if you don't follow their instructions. That's how my parents were. If I didn't listen to what I was told, my ass is beat. Not right away. Of course, I got a couple warnings. But after the warnings, I got back slaps in the back of the head. And I got switches and belts and shoes. Okay? It's no different than the Creator. I'm going to bust your ass. Exactly. I'm going to bust your ass. That's what the Creator's saying. Pretty much. Seeing thou hatest instruction. You hate following my instructions and my words. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consenteth. What? Conceded with him. What? What? I'm a great reader, but what? What the fuck is that? I don't know. Right? But then thou with him, and has been partaker with adulterers. Right? So you took sides with them. You teamed up with them. You knew this nigga was a thief. You didn't say anything to him. You just teamed up with him, right? So you became what? An adulterer. How did you become an adulterer? Because you cheated on the Most High with wicked people. Right? Thou giveth thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Right? Telling lies and deception. Right? Like half of these Israelites be doing that I be saying fuck Africa. And you ain't never seen me say fuck Africa since I've been an Old Testament Israelite. But they'll lie and say that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother. He's naming pretty much how to violate the 10 commandments. These are ways to violate the 10 commandments. Are you seeing? Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces. Bust your ass. Okay? Isn't that what your mama say? I'ma tear your ass up. Isn't that not what your black ass mama be saying? I'ma tear your ass up. That's the same thing the Lord is saying. He gonna tear that ass up if you don't follow instruction. And there will be none to deliver. Nobody's gonna save you from this ass whooping. Nobody gonna save you from this ass whooping but me. Right? Whoso offereth praise glorify me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God. So keep your conversation point on point. Right? Keep it on point. Stay within the confines of the 10 words, the 10 commandments. As soon as you start getting out of the confines of the 10 commandments, your ass finna get blazed. Finna get that ass whooping. Right? Okay, that's that's Psalm 50. Let's go to Psalm 51. 51, 16. And there's another one I'm forgetting. 16 through 17. What? Oh, okay. Isaiah 51, this is again the words of David. For thou desireth not sacrifice, right? The Most High doesn't desire sacrifice, else would I give it. This is David's words. If the Lord wanted sacrifice, David would have given it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. The sacrifice of God is a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. So what does God prefer? The Most High prefers people who are obedient, people who follow the laws and just work on correcting themselves, not people who pretend to be righteous out in the open and then do dirt on the side and then they out there sacrificing and killing animals for no fucking reason. You understand? So if you ever notice, I try not to attack people personally. You know, at least starting off, I try and stick to the subject matter, right? To what we're debating about. Whether what you going through personally is between you and God. What things you're able to follow is between you and God. What failures you come up with is up to you and God. My issues is between me and God. But the difference is I don't sit here and act like I'm perfect. That's the difference. I understand and I give knowledge and I give the reading comprehension because I know better and because I actually study. But I don't carry myself like I'm perfect. I know full well I got plenty of flaws. And that's the same thing that this is saying. Have the ability to be able to self-identify, self-correct, right? Fix your flaws. That's the problem. A lot of people are too prideful. Why do you see a lot of these camp niggas? They can't get right. They can't get off the Christ thing. A lot of the reasoning why is because they're afraid to be wrong. They're afraid to admit to how many hundreds of people that they've been pushing this shit to for how many years. Hey man, I've been pushing a lie. And so as opposed to say, yo, I've been pushing a lie. I fucked up. Stop following me. Study for yourself. Like I did when I first had to come out of that New Testament, I told niggas immediately, stop following me. Stop listening to anything I have to say. Always double check me. Don't ever just listen to what I got to say and follow it. And this is the same shit. This is why we're telling you that. Okay? A lot of these other people won't do this for you. But those of us who study and realize what the book is about, we will for as much as we can. You know. But some of y'all don't make it easy to be humble. Let me see the other one. There's an Isaiah. Oh, yeah. Isaiah 1 and 11. Let's go. This is the one I was looking for y'all. And this is like the nail in the coffin, right? To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith the Lord. It's a rhetorical question, right? I am full of... No, this is not it. 11. No, there's another one. We read this one already. Or did we? No. It's Isaiah 1 in general. So let me just read this to you. Isaiah 1 is a key chapter. So let's read it, right? So it goes, the vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. So these are the four kings that this prophet Isaiah lived through. He lived through four kings of Judah. He lived all the way up into the last wicked king of Hezekiah, right? Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. Heavens and the earth are the witnesses, right? He's about to make a statement of fact. For the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But the nation of Israel doth not know. My people does not consider. Right? Same thing we not doing right now. We just doing sacrifices. Niggas doing feast days and shit we ain't even supposed to be doing. Right? Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquities, a seed of evildoers. He's ragging us right now. Same way y'all complain about me ragging black women is the same way he rags us. So if we're the wife of the Most High, should I not get in black women's ass? I'm just saying. But anyway, right? Evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forgotten the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. There goes that emotion again. And they are gone away backwards. Why should we be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. And your whole head is sick. And your whole heart is faint. Right? Your mind is fucked up. From the sole of your feet even unto the head, there is no soundness in it. You got no wisdom. You a dry bone. Ezekiel 37, right? But wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. Is this not the suffering servant? Isaiah 53. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment, right? We haven't been fixed up. Okay, your country is desolate. We've been kicked out. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. Is this not the curses of Deuteronomy 28? Right? And it is desolate and overthrown by strangers. And the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except the Lord of hosts has left unto us a small remnant. This is the promise. We should have been as Sodom, completely destroyed. He should have wiped us out, but he didn't, because he made an oath, right? Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. He's speaking about our wicked ass kings. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. So it's not talking literally about the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, but those of them that behave in the same vein from the nation of Israel, right? These daughters and sons of Zion. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? What is the purpose of your sacrifices? You're not even doing them right. Okay? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, lambs, and goats. He delights not. He doesn't want it. When ye come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand to tread my courts? Who asked you to give me the blood of any animal? Read what verse 12 says. Who asked you to do that? Who asked you niggas to do this shit? Because I didn't. That's what he's saying in Jeremiah 7:21 through 23. I didn't ask you to do that. Don't bring me no oblations. Don't bring me no incense. Don't obey no new moons. Don't obey the Sabbaths. Don't call an assembly. I cannot away with. It is iniquity. Even the solemn meetings. Like he's saying, you're doing it wrong, so don't do it at all. Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from ye. Yea, or yes, when you make many prayers, I will not hear them. Why? Because your hands are full of blood. Whose blood are our hands full of? Like he's not going to hear them because our hands are full of blood, right? Let me put this in red. Our hands, this is the reasoning why he's not hearing our prayers. Why he's not answering. It's because our hands are full of blood. What blood are our hands full of? Let's scroll back up and see. Oh. What? The blood of bullocks, lambs, and goats. So if this is the blood that's being spilled in verse 11, then obviously in verse 15, this is the reason why the Most High is not hearing us. Because we keep spilling blood. We keep doing this shit. See? That shit is tough to watch, but now you can understand. That is the blood which is on their hands. Because remember, we're not doing human sacrifice no more. We're not engaging in direct human sacrifice outside of abortions, right? Which would count as blood on our hands, right? But we were following after the heathen and doing shit like this. And this is why the Most High was pissed with us, because he didn't tell us to do this shit. Okay, and this is the reason why he's not going to hear any of our prayers, is because we don't fucking listen. We're too stupid and stiff-necked, and we don't study and read. Literally, the whole chapter of Isaiah, the first chapter. And motherfuckers will tell you, oh, Isaiah is my favorite book. But how? When you don't understand what you're reading. When ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. This is the reason why. And when you make prayers, I'm not going to hear you. This is the reason why. Because you keep eating animals' flesh. You keep sacrificing and killing animals. So how do we get to correct ourselves and come back? How do we make a comeback, right? How do we, Ezekiel 18, right? Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doing. Stop sacrificing. Stop blood sacrificing, whether humans or animals. Follow the 10 commandments. Learn to do well. Seek judgment, right? Seek judgment. What does that mean? Seek criticism. Go out of your way to get criticized so that you can work on that criticism to be better. Relieve the oppressed. Help the people who are oppressed. Give them ease of mind by giving proper explanation of things, right? Judge the fatherless. You judge the fatherless because they don't have a man in the household in order to raise them in the right way. So if a man is the head of the household, then guess what? No matter if that child has a father or not, means what? Judge the fatherless, right? You're to give them criticism or judgment as well. Plead for the widow. Ask for forgiveness and mercy from the Most High for the widow so she can find a husband. Find somebody to love her, right? These are the things at which we should be doing. It names it right here. And then the Most High says, come now, let us reason together. Let's think together for a second. Though your sins be as scarlet, like blood, your sins be like scarlet. Scarlet is what? Scarlet is not blood soaked, is it not? Scarlet, let's look at scarlet linen. Looks like blood soaked linen. Right? Blood. Same color as blood, right? So that's why he's bringing up the scarlet. Right? Your sins are like blood. Your sins are like blood. If the reason why you cannot communicate with the Most High is because of your sins, and this particular sin is you spilling blood, then this is saying to you, it's again saying to you the spilling of blood. Like this is so easy to see. They shall be as white as snow. So right now, you're dirty as hell because you got all this red on your hand. You got blood all over your fucking hands. Wash your hands off. Verse 16 said, walk away from the evilness of your doings. This blood sacrificing you keep doing. Stop doing it. Get back to my 10 commandments that I gave you, that I gave Moshe. Right? And what will happen? Your garments will be restored to as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be wool. What color is crimson? Crimson, what color is crimson? Crimson is also the color of blood. Scarlet and crimson. He's giving you metaphors or analogy for blood. Right? Stop spilling it. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat good of the land. So if you're willing and obedient, you're not going to eat meat. You're going to do what I said in Genesis 1:27, and you're going to do what? You're going to eat the fruit of the land. I ain't tell you to eat no meat, right? But if ye refuse and rebel, if you're going to continue to eat meat, continue to spill blood, ye shall be devoured with the sword. If you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword, right? So if you live by slaughter, you'll die by slaughter. If you slaughter animals, you're going to get slaughtered. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken. Hey, he don't change, right? This is the judgment. If you refuse, you're going to die by the sword. You also will see death. This is a promise, all right? How is it faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it. But now murderers. It's talking about the city of Zion. When we initially came into the land, we were faithful to our Maker. And then within 2 to 3 generations, we turned into murderers, killing animals. 50,000 animals a day. That's fuckery. Thy silver is become dross, and thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious. Thy princes are rebellious, right? So, who is it talking about? Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, all these wicked-ass leaders, right? They become what? They become rebellious and companions of thieves. They get wives from other nations. They team up with other wicked nations. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge us not the Father. They don't even follow the commandments. None of those kings that we named up here, they didn't follow the commandments. They were fucking up. They fucked us over. Do you understand? All of these kings, they didn't do their job. They fucked us over. Yes, this is Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1, right? They fucked us over. Okay? They didn't follow any of the laws. And you can read this in the book of Judges, the book of Chronicles, the book of Joshua. You can read from the priest kings, all these sections here. Okay? Pretty much. Hold up. All these sections here, from 1 Kings all the way to 4 Kings, all of that. So, hang on a second. Right. So from Joshua all the way to Chronicles. Okay, so all here, throughout here, it shows the ups and downs of our people. Right? Ups and downs. Ups and downs. Right? So here we go. Right? And I will turn my hand upon thee. Right? So this is what he says. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel. I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. Right? And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first. Right? So he's going to take away all these kings. So he's going to remove them from us, and he's going to give us prophets again. Right? Judges, prophets. Okay? So what has he done since Zedekiah? Since Zedekiah was the last of the kings, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, then what happened? Okay, what happens is prophets. We're going to be given prophets again. So this day and age that we live in now, there's no kings, but there's prophets, because there's only one king, and that's David. Right? And thy counselors as at the beginning. So all we're going to have is prophets and prophetesses, female and male prophets in these days and age. We would not have any kings, right? Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness and faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. This is talking about the end of this dispensation of time. When this millennium is finished, we will be a nation of prophets once more, right? The destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, right? All in one time, one moment, and they shall forsake the Lord shall be consumed. So everybody who didn't follow the 10 commandments, everybody who was doing blood sacrifice, who wasn't reading and studying and was just going out there and being like this, being profane, right? Fucking up the holy days and shit like this. Okay? Done. They're done. You understand? Okay, for they shall be ashamed as the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. For ye shall be as the oak whose leaf fadeth, and as the garden that hath no water, dry bones. Are you not understanding Ezekiel 37? This is the dry bones statement, pretty much. He's saying it again. And the strong shall be as a tow, and the maker of it as a spark, and thy shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. So it's talking about the judgment, right? So Ezekiel 37, there's this period that we're going through right now, where those of us who are studying, we're beginning to realize the truth and the nature of the Torah and our Creator and this book and the nature of reality. Those of them who aren't studying are usually still blood sacrificing or still eating the body and blood of Christ, right? Which is the same thing. So you can see why this just didn't work out for us the last 2,000 years. I'm not opening up another live, so this is it. You can check out some of the posts. And like I said, I've got precepts here for you guys, right? No animal sacrifice. We were only supposed to be giving oblation, but even then, I don't think oblation is necessary, but obedience is. And when we go to books, let me just do this real quick. When we go to books like The Life of Adam and Eve, you'll see that he engaged in oblation. Now, let me just show you real quick before this shit ends. So let me just show you. See? Adam shows what YAH requires from man for forgiveness. And if you see here, he didn't give any beast. He didn't give anything for the beast to eat other than what? The same food as the animals. Right? So the animals and man were given the same food to eat the fruit, nuts, and grains of the earth. Right? And this is how he gave great repentance. So this is the life of Adam and Eve. You can look this up. He gave oblation. And when you read later on, you'll see that Abel gave the same thing. Abel gave oblations. Right? He gave fruits and vegetables. So that means that Cain didn't give fruits and vegetables. It was Abel that gave fruits and vegetables. And it was Cain that was the bloodthirsty one. Cain not only killed that animal. What do serial killers do? They kill animals before they kill humans, right? Same thing with Cain. He killed an animal before he killed his brother.